The pitch brief essentially boiled down to two objectives for Pep, one of which was to deliver incremental sales using digital, and the other was to drive a price perception around lowest price provider in the category, and to use digital to achieve those two means within a fixed budget. Pep have a target audience of 25 million customers, of which around 9% play heavily in the digital space, which is a significant proportion of customers, and we know that that's growing, but that makes it tricky to drive a mass price perception objective through that target audience. The other major challenge that Pep face is that digital isn't present through every stage of the buying journey. So in order to prove and to affect and demonstrate incremental sales, you need to be able to be present right the way through to purchase. So our approach ultimately was threefold. Firstly, Pep have a successful digital ecosystem, but we felt that there was an opportunity to sharpen that up, to give it more strategic purpose, and to align some of the key touch points to that strategy. So evolving the digital ecosystem was strategic. Pep have a website. Pep have a very successful Facebook page. They also have a Twitter presence. So what we did is we looked at each of those touch points. Firstly, we asked ourselves, well, how much of Pep's target audience, how much of Pep's market are playing in that channel? And of those people, how many are playing with Pep? And to what end? And is that channel in growth or in decline? So firstly, we said how much we should be investing in those particular channels. And then we looked at the role of those channels in the context of the consumers' lives ultimately, and their relationship with Pep. So we have a very clear definition around the investment and the role of those channels in Pep's ecosystem. The second pillar was around creating an always-on advertising program that ultimately linked the consumer right the way through to sale using mobile vouchering. We said, actually, independent of campaigns, you should be promoting offers and price news stories that are going on in your stores through mobile vouchering. And in that way, you'll very quickly know whether or not digital is having an incremental impact on sales. And in fact, if we take a performance marketing approach, we can move our investment round to maximize return on investment. And I think that's a huge leap from where Pep are now, and there is a healthy cynicism within the business as to whether digital does drive incremental business value. So I think if we do that and we help them join up digital marketing with what happens at the till, we'll be able to really demonstrate the power of the medium. So that was strategy number 2. And number 3, which was more aligned to campaign, was around really using digital to its full creative potential. So we called that strategic pillar game-changing creative. And we came up with some ideas which go beyond just resetting and making the current digital ecosystem more purposeful, but using digital in ways which drive word of mouth and buzz and excitement and purchase, and do both of the objectives that Pep tasked us with. So, for example, using some of the window space that Pep have to call people to action to interact with their phones and potentially win something or get some incentive to go in store and buy something. And you can imagine there's a huge amount of footfall in some of the urban areas that Pep's situated within. So that's using digital almost beyond its means. So people who aren't necessarily engaging on their phones with that media can still see the impact of it. So there are some, what I feel are very, very powerful creative opportunities that we put on the table, which I hope some of which get put into practice and we're able to talk about in a little bit more detail. But those essentially formed the three pillars to the digital strategy that we developed for them. Roughly, 20% of Pep's audience have a digital life of sorts, but of those people, they actually have surprisingly rich digital lives. You know, there's a kind of preconception that people are very data conscious and stingy about using their data. And yeah, they're smart and savvy consumers of digital and of data. But we found that people have very rich social media lives, that you know, that people are downloading games and downloading content, but they're doing it very selectively, very carefully. You know, they're using smartphones on the weekend, they're using feature phones for staying in touch with employers. So we're seeing some very specific behaviours emerge, but on balance, I think those people that are in digital have surprisingly rich digital lives. And I think, you know, what we went back to Pep with was a realignment of the investment that they're making across the digital ecosystem. So in fact, we said invest less in Twitter, stop investing in YouTube and Instagram, carry on with Facebook, continue investing in web, because we know that's growing 14% year on year, and we know that although Pep have a considerable amount of unique visitors on the site, that's only really a small proportion of the people visiting sites. So I think, you know, in that first strategy we got very specific around how to evolve and how to spread the investment in a really purposeful way within their current ecosystem.